Hello everybody, welcome back to PadFootTD Games. My name is Zach, I'm the voice behind the icon, and today we are back once again here for another evlog, and we're going a little bit closer to home today. We are here with the SRX Legends division for one final time. Now I'll explain that a little bit as we actually start to drive out there, because I think it actually bears some sort of explanation. So actually, give me a second here. Let me get my directions going. South Boston. Just gonna get that in there, and that's there, and it's gonna be right up north. So if we do that, we're gonna go Fayetteville. We are going to use. It's technically right here, but we'll use Salem. We'll use this right here. That'll be our go-to. 5-hour trip should go pretty well. But this is our last stop with the SRX Tour, and I want to explain a little bit what this was, what it became, and why we won't have it next year. So let's jump on in. Start up the truck, which is already running. Make sure that we're all good to go. Already did a tug test. All of our minis are loaded up in the truck. So let's talk about this really quick. So for those of you who do not know, well, first off, thank you for being here. For those of you who don't know, the SRX or Superstar Racing Experience was originally developed by Tony Stewart and a handful of other people to kind of become the new IROC. What that means is there was a class of car that was specifically designed, and they were all the same. You took some of the greatest drivers you could, and you put them on a track together. And they could change a handful of things. They could change suspension and stuff like that. But the playing field was as close as it could possibly be. And it was really relying on skill, not the pocketbook, because you just showed up and they gave you a car and they said, go do crimes. Okay? So that's what that was all about. It came out right after COVID. Right? Yeah, I think if I'm doing that right after COVID. And it was around for 3 years. Started in Stafford. Most of the time, we were there for 2 of the 3 events. We didn't go to the 3rd one and the last one at Stafford because we were already up in Loudon, and I just couldn't go down there to then go up to Loudon. It didn't work out. So that's what we did. That's what the series was, and unfortunately this year they were all planning to come back, and at the very last moment, more or less, they announced that SRX would be shuttering its doors. The sport got very far away from what it was originally concepted to be and what it became. It was originally just like finding retired old drivers or drivers from different genres other than NASCAR, plus 1 local for 12 cars on a track. And then it became like really commercialized, and then we started having Kyle Busch and Denny Hamlin and, you know, Chase Elliott and all these other things, and it started to drift away what the original concept was. When Tony Stewart left to go do Super Late Model, not Super Late Model, just read that on the side, to do Top Fuel dragsters, there was just no time left in the schedule for it, so the doors closed. At the same time, it was coming to iRacing for the SRX Series and the SRX car. I've always kind of liked the look of the car as something unique, and it was like a nice niche entertainment thing. That's all that I wanted, was to add some entertainment value. That's the real life business that I am in, is entertainment. And that's why I make videos for you guys too. I like to entertain. So I said, what better than SRX? So we took it on, and we've been playing it for so long. When it originally came out on iRacing, it was not compatible for AI, which kind of brought down the mood a little bit. And I was like, okay, well, we'll still try to do something. Sat on it for a little while, and it did finally get released very quietly, by the way, for iRacing, but it was very broken on, it did not accept trading paint schemes. Unfortunately, for at least AI driven. So I was like, okay, that's out. But, you know, we'll just do the basic pieces. We won't do an online roster, which kind of took some of the fun away from it for me, because I'm like, I want it to be as realistic as it can, and, you know, there was that. We did 3 events at Stafford, Five Flag, and Hickory. with the SRX car. At Stafford, we ended up getting taken out. At Hickory, we ended up getting taken out. At Five Flag, transmission blew after having a horrible, horrible day. And we decided, okay, I'm not going to just keep doing these videos to finish last. Hold on to that thought. And I was like, you know, I want it to be fun. I want it to be realistic. You don't win them all, and that's not what I'm trying to do. But I was consistently in last place. And it's because I couldn't figure out the car, which was fine. It takes practice. You know, I'm not saying, oh, you only play to win. But again, then I started thinking, I was like, even so, with just 12 cars on track, it's lacking that, like, fun factor of, like, so many cars. It was 12. We get spread out so much that, you know, we brought in the quarter breaks to squish everybody back together, and then it got strung out, and then back, and then I wanted action. I wanted something more fun. So we made that decision to switch to SRX Legends and take the same concept with 12 cars that we brought our own. One local driver got a seat, and we had the ability to open up the field. The rest to locals to see if they could beat the best. That was the concept overall. Again, all fictional, of course, but still, overall, was a fun idea. We did 2 races with that, and we're working on our 3rd right now. We did Atlanta at their Legends Oval in the infield. Lots of fun. Got taken out there. We did, excuse me, Nashville. Got taken out in our heat race, which was fine. Then I just had a lot of trouble getting the car just to kind of go. It wasn't my car, as you guys could tell from the paint scheme. It still isn't. So we had some trouble with that, and, you know, we're going to go and finish this up with one more race at, where are we going? South Boston. We were originally supposed to do Slinger. We changed it to South Boston for convenience of drive and just the kind of pull that we could get. Plus, I'm already going to be up to Slinger with the Willow Modified Tour in October. So there is that, and I was just like, you know, I want it to be fun. Regardless on how today goes, I'm feeling pretty good about what we might be able to accomplish today at South Boston. But it is one of those things of my fingers are crossed for that, but we need to start looking for next year. Now, I've had some thought kind of going around of what I wanted to do, because next year I want to be with the SK mods again at Stafford. That's going to be a yearly reoccurring thing. I want to be with the Willow Modified Tour, of course. If the new ARCA car happens to come out by next year, which I don't think it will by the time we go racing, I'd love to do some ARCA. We'll definitely be back in the Xfinity Series. It's been too fun not to be there. So that's definitely going to be part of that. But I was thinking, I was like, what can we do on our end? And I think this would be a really big thing to overcome, but if I really have time this winter, I'm going to do so. We are going to start our own league, fictional league, again using AI. And I'm thinking of doing late model. Now, the reason why I'm switching away from Legends, I love Legends. They're such a niche thing, but a handful of tracks they work for and a handful they don't. And I've already been thinking about possibly our winter series this year was actually going to be Legends, so I don't want to kind of wash the market with that. The problem is there's already so many late model tours that exist, and I'm like, what's one more? Like, so please don't get me every time. So that is kind of the plan. So unfortunately, after 1 year of trying to revive it, the SRX series will be going away, and we will be taking the same kind of concept but rebranding and a lot of different changes for next year, where it's not going to be the same. So I wanted to try, still a fun car to kind of poke around with, but unfortunately did fall a little short, which does make me think of like the real life counterpart of this. Dude, slow down, holy crap. And how that kind of affects it all. So a little bummed on that, but overall I'm going to do what's best for the sport and for ourselves mentally as well. So should still be a lot of fun going around some of these smaller tracks with late model tour, and you know, it's kind of like the Cars tour, but going obviously fictional and going to a couple more places. So we've got that to look forward to, but let's continue our drive up to South Boston, and let's hope that we're going to have a good time. All right, we are getting ourselves down here to the track. It looks like that's going to be a traffic jam. So I'm going to kind of slide on over. Slide on over, Prius. Thank you. Whoops. But yeah, we are here, and yeah, I'm a little bummed. You know, not all things work out the way that you originally want them to when you try to make a series of some sort. And this one definitely didn't. I thought we'd have a little more fun in the SRX series, and it had its moments of fun, but there was a lot of frustration as well. So we'll pull around and we'll actually park in that first spot over there. But yeah, I do look forward to whatever is next for us for making our own fictional touring series and seeing what kind of shenanigans we can kind of get into. I like racing, and I like iRacing a lot, and I know it's been a lot of what's been on the channel, so I really do appreciate your guys' support. Man, those were the days. But it's time for us to get parked and see if we can do this one more time with maybe just a little bit more success here at South Boston. Let's do this. Let's back you up. And kick you around like that. Yep, right on the line. That's exactly what we want. And bam, just like that, we are here and ready to get ourselves unloaded for racing here in South Boston. All right, time for us to unpack, head out for practice, see how we can do with 30 car field, and yeah, fingers crossed one last time and we can pull out a miracle. All right, back from practice, fifth quick, actually. So maybe, just maybe we can actually pull something off here. So my fingers are crossed. 100 laps is a long time in the Legends car, but I think that we can do it. So, yeah, let's see how it goes. We're going to head out. We are going to be in the third heat here at South Boston, so we'll see you guys after 20 laps. Last. Where did things go wrong? Started pretty mid-pack for our heat. And yeah, we were cranking until lap 3. Lap 3, we are coming through turn 2. We drifted up a little bit. These cars are so sensitive. 2 tires rubbed and spun ourselves around, bringing out the caution. From there, we got a restart, and we're just trying to push our way through the field. That brought us to the halfway break at 11 laps. And again, I'm struggling trying to get up. At that point, I was in 7th. So I'm like, okay, 7th out of like 10 cars. We got this. Trying to make it up. And we end up, I don't know what was going on. We ended up just getting so loose. Coming out of 4, I remember getting loose and just kind of bouncing off the outside wall, trying to keep it straight. Definitely broke something in the front. And that brought us back into last place. So we finished last in our heat, which means we're going to just start in the back in our feature. So let's see how that goes, and maybe it'll go better. All right, back from our main event here at South Boston. Again, I just tried to be out of people's way. We were having a pretty good race. We were able to get ourselves up to 20th. Then things just kind of went wrong. We ended up getting in it with Harvick and getting into the turn 2 wall. What else happened? Let's scroll through here. Rolling around. Able to get back up to 15th. We were making moves. You know, we were getting there. It was only on the long run speed. And then at lap 26, I am not kidding you, as soon as we were coming to the line to end this stage, I got loose out of 4, came down, tapped the 81, which threw me up into the outside wall, completely breaking the front end suspension of this car. And I got a black flag going because I was dragging material. Went in, got it fixed, brought ourselves out, I think at least a lap down or 2. And it was just, from there, it was just kind of hold on as best we can and hope for the best. Let's see, then at lap 47, this one I remember, we actually came up, you know, you can only do so much. We actually went up and over end. We had a couple cars actually going up and over. I'm actually looking at the replay right now. I'm on the brakes as hard as I possibly can. There's a big pile up on the front stretch. We got the 46 going upside down. We got the 71 being launched upside down. I came up onto the 67 and slammed on the brakes, which ended up throwing us forward, which ended up flipping us upside down. We already had the 1 upside down. A big crash here in the Legends. I was able to at least, you know, land back on my feet. You know, 81 was upside down. I'm missing bits and parts, but I'm like, it's lap 48. We might as well at least see if we can get through the rest of this. And we hobbled around in the worst way possible. Let me actually see. Is there anything there? Yeah. And then one little fine cherry on top while I'm trying to stay out of the way. We're in 25th. Get loose coming out of 2, and the car just goes completely around in front of the field. Luckily, I didn't collect anybody too bad. Woo, look that way. But not the way that we wanted to finish our last race here or do overall. And then, of course, the cherry on top. As we're coming to checkered flag, everybody's laps down. We're all together. 46 goes into a gap that's not there. Lifts me off the ground, throws me into this turn 3 wall, smashing in the front end and kind of doing a flip. I have no steering, so I made a statement. We finished 26, so we weren't completely last in this race, but I slammed it into reverse, and from turn 3 all the way down the front stretch, we were in reverse to finish the race. So, unfortunately, SRX and the SRX Legends did not work out to our ability, but you never know until you don't try, and I didn't want to stop something part way. If I'm going to start something, I got to finish it. So, that's what I got overall for you guys. I hope that you enjoyed this mini-series, and it'll be a lot more fun next year, I promise. But that's going to do it for this one. If you guys enjoyed what you saw, we are going to try to get a video out here on the channel every single week. Every single day, I should say. Every single week. And we really do appreciate your continued support. But with that, I thank you guys so much for coming out to this one, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.